So now you can watch the recording and see how much of what I'm saying right now actually makes it into the YouTube recording. It's 9 a.m. on Tuesday, October 26th, 2025. And I welcome you to the Eidelweiss Board of Commissioners meeting. We call it to order at 9 a.m. And the first thing we do is make a motion to discuss and approve the agenda. So I made that motion. Need a second?
Second,
And
and it's the 28th.
There you go, Nancy.
28th. 28th of October.
We'll fix that.
Any changes to the agenda? Is there a need for a non-public session today? We have continuing matters, or are we gonna get a break today on that? You know?
It's up to you
I
guys.
can't think of anything.
So we won't, unless we change it later into the meeting.
I do, I have one thing,
You do.
So,
and it'll be legal.
okay, legal issue.
Okay, very
So
good.
we'll have a non-public session, and we'll recess this meeting into tomorrow afternoon for that's a legal meeting too. So we don't need to recess this meeting, that's just that's a non-meeting tomorrow.
Right.
Non-meeting,
Okay.
yeah.
So, with the addition of a non-public session, how do you vote to approve the agenda?
Aye.
Aye.
3-0 on the agenda. Approval of the minutes of the 21st. As I bring it up, do you have anything? Because I have two little things.
I found some minor spelling errors. So, if you go down to the DPW report on to bullet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 regarding the spillway, I found 3 spelling errors. On the second line says, this was done with Jeff DiMartino's digression. I think you meant discretion.
Yes.
Discretion, so that needs to be corrected.
Maybe a
Thank
little
you.
of both.
Then it says the current ordinance does not address the number of boards to be removed if there is I know you're saying drought, but that's spelled incorrectly. You need to put a O where the A is, and then you've got it, drought. And then the next sentence says decision as opposed to discussion, to put back the 5-inch cap board. So the 3 minor spelling
So
errors.
decision.
Yeah, no, is that decision or discussion?
I don't know, you have to read it to me.
Well, it's spelled, whatever it is, it's spelled correctly. Something, it says decision, which isn't a word. So it's either discussion or decision. I don't know what you meant. I would say decision. That makes more sense to me because when I recall the conversation, we decided to put the 5-inch cap board back
Very
in.
good.
So decision. Okay. Thank you for correcting me on that.
Yep.
I originally put discussion. On old business, item 6, review of data received from Neighborhood Energy. Mark Raffin will forward date. I think you meant to say data again as opposed to date.
Yep.
And then the second bullet says the 2025 budget profit and loss as of 10/15/25 was revied. I think you meant reviewed. just minor stuff. I know
No,
you gotta
this
do
was
this
done
quickly.
very quickly, you
Yes,
know,
no,
because
I
I
get-
was out of the office.
No, I
so
get that. I get that.
It's a draft.
I get that. But it's a
Right.
draft. It'll be 100% perfect when it goes final. That's all I have.
I just said, I had that reviewed.
Okay.
Under correspondence number 8,
Yeah,
I think it's the second or third sentence, we need to obtain an opinion that speaks to the village district on the use of the paper road of Oak Ridge. And I think I wanted to say the paper road off of Oak Ridge.
gotcha.
Because they're claiming that it is Oak Ridge and this.
And it's not.
It's
Yeah.
not, we're saying.
Correct.
That it's an unnamed, undeveloped road.
Yeah.
And it's not Oak Ridge Road, it's off of it,
Okay,
that's it.
good point. Nancy, next.
All in
Alrighty.
favor of the minutes as amended?
Aye.
Aye.
3-0 on that.
Thank you.
Then we get into the first of two, maybe just one manifest?
Just one today.
Yep.
We have an operations and payroll manifest
Mhm.
of $24,379.96.
Yep.
I'll make a motion to discuss and approve this manifest.
Second.
So, a big part of this is payroll for 3 full-time employees and 1 part-time employee. And
Well, somewhat 2 part-time if you wanna get technical, I guess. Cause we've got Tony and then you had,
Willie,
yeah,
He's a contractor though.
well,
we're just paying him as a 1099 type guy, right?
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, okay, so he's not an employee.
And we charge him to FEMA as a contract, and he submits invoices, right? I can't picture the
getting
last thing
time
we had him
cards.
do.
Well, he submitted the invoices when he's done the trucking,
Right,
Right,
but if we just pulled him in to work, I don't think he hasn't.
so he's got an invoice on this manifest?
No,
he's
No,
got a
he's
time card.
listed as an employee
Oh.
under
Oh, I
the
see.
time card.
That's correct,
yeah.
and he's in the payroll system.
Oh, so he's not a 1099 guy then?
He has taxes taken out, because that's what we were doing previously.
And we're going through ADP for him,
Right.
Correct,
then he's not a 1099 guy.
Okay, so when he uses, he was operating our backhoe with the Black Dog project.
Correct,
That's the last thing he was doing.
Right.
So then he's a part-timer doing that.
right,
When he had Blake Hills
trucking.
truck, then he was a contractor, because he was invoiced for,
And had
or
bill.
he came with the truck in that.
Right.
As a
Yeah.
contractor,
Right.
that
Yep.
got charged to FEMA.
yep,
So we're good.
Yeah.
Right.
We're paying Black Dog $5,600 for a great job that he did with
Yes.
you guys for 2.5 days. We're renting a stump grinder, which we get to talk about in a minute, $550. Legal expense for the tower lease to Carroll County, $1,170.
That's from the Freiberg attorney, right?
correct.
Then there's a benefits payments
Yep, which now includes Yuri.
for the first time.
Yep.
Well, yeah, for
Yep.
the previous month and then ongoing.
You'd be glad to hear we bought more Blue Def.
Yes, you can't get enough of Blue Def, man, that's
They're drinking it.
like a red-green
Copy
thing.
a charge of $86 that we pay monthly,
Mm-hmm.
and the famous filter for only $82.
Yeah, they took the charge off.
Oh, they did?
They did.
Hey, asking helps.
Nice.
Sure does.
I'll touch on that when it's on my report, couldn't
Okay,
finish
good.
through the manifest, but.
All in favor of this manifest, say aye.
Aye.
I have
Do you
one
have an
question.
Oh,
I have one question. The agenda says operation payroll is $24,379.96, but I'm seeing on the spreadsheet, $24,752.45, so a difference of $372.49.
Yeah.
Was there something else?
There was, I had missed a calculation and the payroll, tax was incorrect, so I adjusted it.
So which one is correct, the lower or
The
the
one on the
higher?
manifest.
The higher one.
So, okay, so it's
No,
really
It's
24,000.
actually lower.
24. So we're gonna approve a manifest for 24,752.
No, you're approving the one that's on the manifest.
I'm reading the manifest.
Yeah, the manifest says $24,752.45.
I'm
The
sorry.
agenda,
The
the agenda.
The agenda.
Okay, so it's $24,379.96.
Yeah, and I'll send that update to you.
Okay,
That's
okay.
why I was kinda running late.
All right, no problem, got it. Bon.
All right. So now at 9:08, we'll move to.
Oh, do we have to approve it?
Three's,
Did we
yeah,
vote?
we're gonna,
No.
aye. Thank you.
I
Still,
cut
you
it
stopped,
out.
okay.
Aye,
So it's the one on.
Aye.
3-0 on approving a manifest for $24,379.96.
Thank you.
yep.
Okay.
Okay,
So now we have Jeff's report. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning.
at what time?
9:09.
Thank you.
So, to touch on that filter, I picked a new one up, and so I asked him about the charge, the shipping.
Yeah,
And he said, well, they don't have a truck like Napa that goes back and forth. I said, well, next time I'd like to have known, I would have had you ship it to me. Then I wouldn't mind paying the shipping, obviously.
Right.
So I did say, and I said, well, it's a John Deere filter. You folks put it on. Do you back up this filter? I said, it hasn't even been on 2 months and it's defective. Or when the guy put it on, maybe he crimped it to give it a little tightening, and that's why it was leaking.
whoa,
So he said, send the old filter back. So I gotta run over there, I think, and get some more hydraulic fluid, because
anyway,
when Albany Service did the job, I brought them over the 5 gallons of fluid that we had, because they had to drain the tank and put fluid back in. So I got the old filter, and I'm gonna run that over to John Deere, and they're gonna ship it out, and maybe they'll reimburse us for the whole filter.
Oh, beautiful.
Nice.
So, I know it's,
Yeah, it's not only the fact that they charge us from shipping from one of their facilities to another facility, but you gotta drive down to get it.
right,
Even though they're charging us. For
right,
Yes.
and that's what I
internal-
said to him, I said, I gotta spend my time to come here.
Straighten
and
out
get it.
that company, will you, Jeff?
One filter at a time.
Oh,
But yeah, so that's that one.
Good. Very good.
So we're on that subject. I don't know if you guys had any conversation with Chadwick and Bayross over that thing at this point or not, but so when that problem occurred, the wiring, we also have another thing with the console. It's been there's a piston, so we bought the piston, had that shipped to us, paid for that and all.
Right,
We
right.
thought maybe that it was something that we could maybe thought it was simple enough for us to put in. Well, the three of us have been looking at it and beating our brains up, and it's not maybe as simple as we thought it was going to be. So I did talk with Albany Service about it. I mean, they're willing to take a look at it and see if they can install that. I mean, I think they'd have better luck than we would. I didn't know if that's something, unless you guys want to have a conversation with Chadwick about coming up here. I could have it's also throwing a code that I think is something to do with the computer that Tony was telling me about on the grader. So I'm going to give them a shout today about that code just to see what's going on with that. So I didn't know how you want to handle that.
So Chadwick Bay Ross is down in Manchester area?
Pembroke?
Pembroke and Lancaster, they have two different places.
Okay. In any event, it's a long drive for them, whereas Albany is local.
Right, for this piston thing, yeah.
And did you call Albany to discuss the issue?
I
that
spoke
maybe-
with them about
okay.
it, yeah.
And they were willing to maybe take a look at it?
Yes. We drive the grader over there. It's not like we have to have it shipped and, I mean, they'd come up to do this. This isn't something where we have to ship it down to Concord or
right.
whatever.
Well, we know how they charge when they come up.
Right, well, that's my point.
Yeah.
So, that's why I asked if there was any conversations with them about the last thing, because if that's something we could work into it,
I guess the worst it would be a quick service visit to assess whether they can figure it out and do it before they do anything or can't do anything. Albany.
Who's they? Yeah, I was gonna
Albany,
say.
yeah.
Right.
So, are you saying that you want them to come here and look at it? You're talking about driving it there so they can try to fix it.
I'm talking about driving the grader over to Albany
Albany,
Service.
yes.
Oh,
Connect.
yeah,
Right, you
I
wouldn't
have no
drive-
problem
I'll
with
make
that,
a
yeah.
motion that we have the DPW drives the grader over to Albany for them to see if they can fix it.
Okay.
Second.
Aye.
okay.
Aye.
It's been a real, problem for Tony
So
trying to.
is it the whole steering kind of
Yeah, see, what
problem
hap-
thing?
you know,
He
Okay.
wants everything. He wants brakes,
Right.
he wants the steering to work.
That's Tony's baby,
Wants the
man. He wants it
hydraulics
to
to
be
work.
perfect.
Right,
mean,
right.
come on.
I mean, he doesn't want it to burn.
His baby. He wants to change the diapers on it every day.
Right.
Does Albany do they have extensive experience with graders? I mean, I don't know.
He's worked on other things on it. I mean, he Alan's can fix anything.
Okay.
I mean, he's pretty good.
All right. Well, you know best. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah,
Just like-
he
it just seems to be the grader has always been Chadwick, and
yeah, I mean, because they've always claimed that they didn't sell the software off to anybody else, and that they're the only ones who could work on it, which
Right.
isn't really what I hear is right. So I mean, they can't withhold software, so other places have software, and it just gets into that type of stuff.
okay.
That not being a piece of equipment that's still under a warranty with us, we own that outright.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's our piece of equipment. It makes it a little different, a little easier to go that route. And on that, again, with equipment, we do have the backhoe back. So that job's all set, and she should be.
Did you test it yesterday after I talked
We
to you
have
guys?
not.
You have not yet.
No,
Okay.
no, that's something that's gonna
Okay.
get put on, and we're gonna give that a go and see what happens.
Okay.
So, and again, we'll keep moving on that subject. So I did get the confirmation on the tires from Frichette's, and it's the same tire, the Toyo tire. I got two different tire quotes from Belknap Tire, and it's a $250 difference to go with Frichette. a little bit more than it would be to go to Belknap Tire for the same studded snows that
Wow.
Toyo's.
Now, is Frechette just more local as opposed to Belknap?
Exactly.
I know what Frechette is.
Yes, correct. Frechette's not even 5 miles up the road.
Yeah.
So what was the total price for Frechette?
They were $6,850, I believe.
$6,850, whereas Belknap was $6,650 or somewhere.
Yeah, just under that type of thing.
About
yeah.
$250
difference.
50 or 200?
$250.
$250 difference. Okay.
Do they have them in stock, or do you have to order these?
I believe if I give them the green light, they could have them within a couple of days, and they could start rotating these things onto the trucks, and
Yeah.
then I could get the inspections done.
Right.
Where's Belknap located?
Laconia.
Laconia. Okay, so that's an hour drive if we went there.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2 guys driving
Yeah,
2 trucks.
when you take a look at the time,
Yep.
labor
Yep.
time, machine
Something
time.
happens to the tire, you got to run it down there, whether you're
It's gonna be more than
right over
$250.
here.
I'll make a motion, we buy the tires from Frechette Tire for $68.50.
Second.
Aye.
Further discussion? You don't have any more?
No, that's just,
Any more discussion, Nancy?
Nope.
How do you vote?
Aye.
aye.
3-0 on the tires, $68.50.
So we got the stump grinding done. Those 2 days last week.
You've been wanting to do that for a long time?
Yeah, so that's behind us.
What are you having?
A couple of wing bangers gone, so that's a good thing.
No more rocks, no more stumps,
Yeah,
until you find the new ones.
we'll find some new ones. Yeah, so we'll just,
I have a question.
Yes.
On your report, everything makes sense except the last one. Took down no parking signs and fence around the flagpole?
there's we put up temporary no parking signs around Boulder Beach that go in and out every year, and then the little fence around the flagpole to keep people from parking on the lawn. Yeah,
Oh.
that little yellow manila,
Oh, okay.
the 4x4s with the little manila rope there that goes to the
The
little.
1-foot high road fence.
Right, okay, so
Yeah.
that's taken down for winter, okay. got
Yeah.
it. All right.
Yep. So
All right.
it's those things,
All right, that's just,
summer's over.
Yeah.
So just kind of plugging along, and
Did you want to mention something about the rocks that are left from the?
right, there's the rock there. I know that Bernie, you've got a thing with the rocks.
Yeah.
And there is a rock on Aspen that they want removed, that's sitting there.
So across the street from number 6 Aspen, the house, that owner of number 6 Aspen owns the lot across the road. And right where we started the project, the contractor pulled a 2 cubic yard rock out of the ground and placed it on the side of the road. Well, the property owner doesn't want that rock left there because they actually use that. They push the snow out of their driveway
Yep.
in a good way across the road and into their own lot, and that rock is right where.
right.
So I have to talk to Burnham about whether they can move that. I don't know if you've been down there to see the size of the rocks that they did pull out of the ground,
The big.
but there's one that's a whale
Oh, I gotta go down and check that out.
Yeah.
Okay.
that Mike placed on the edge of the road, and he's saying there's a guardrail that nobody's gonna go through that guardrail. It's one solid rock
Yeah.
about the size of this table
Oh, man.
and higher. So we'll be paying $125 a cubic yard for that one.
Yeah.
I didn't get a number of how many they pulled out. Right at the beginning, they cut the road asphalt the width of their bucket so that they were preserving as much asphalt as they could. And then they hit this rock that we need to move that's bigger than the asphalt cut that they made, so that ripped more asphalt out.
Oh, yeah.
That's the nature of going into the ground in New Hampshire.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yes. Granite State. Yep.
Yeah.
So I'll talk to the contractor. That might be beyond what the contract specifies. We might have to pay a little extra for that, but
Yeah.
that's show business.
So that's where we're at today too. We're kind of cleaning that area up to try to firm that up, to make that plowable for winter. That's a big area there that's gotten torn up. They're done with what they need to do there. They're waiting on a pressure test or something along those lines before they kind of wrap it up. And then I know we're graveling the road, so we're kind of doing some preparation for that today.
Now the race is on, before the roads freeze, before frost gets into the first few inches. And that's when you don't wanna put the gravel down anymore, cause it's not gonna bind.
Right.
Plows will take it right off,
I see.
push it into the woods first go around. So the weather depending on what we're gonna get away with from here on. Yesterday they were, graded ditching Little Loop.
Yes.
And I was coming by and Tony waved me down because he got the grader out of the way so that the backhoe could come and clean up behind him. And he got out and we chatted because he was waiting to go back in after the backhoe cleared out. So we talked about a few things that you and I talked about this morning. I met Jeff at 8 o'clock. We drove Hotwell, which I'll talk about in my commissioner's report. Tony talked about wanting to put asphalt down on Lugano. And you know that Lugano's leaking again.
Yes, I saw the pictures, yep, and I read the report.
So that has to be fixed before, he doesn't wanna leave that open, so he's talking about putting asphalt down himself. And wants the.
Well, all of us.
Have the DPW do it.
Right.
As opposed to, we're not gonna, there's no way to get a contract.
No, right, we're recognizing that we're not gonna get some contractor in here to do the asphalt work for the FEMA and any of the stuff that we need as well. So there's a couple of spots that we'd like to address ourselves if, again, Mother Nature allows us to get this done in a
So
period
this
of
is
time.
the purpose for,
Plowing, so
plowing,
we have a
yeah.
smooth transition.
yeah,
And that's one of them, Blendon
And
being the other.
Blendon, you're gonna do something with Blendon for that patch that grabs the plows.
Yeah, that's a bit bigger, obviously Lugano's a smaller, well, Lugano's got that shoulder, and then it's got the cut across the road as well. So, but yeah, Blendon, we're gonna have to cut that whole area out, and it's
Yeah.
probably gonna take 3-4 yards of hot top, of hot top. And we'll have to get a roll to roll that in there, probably rent that one from Coleman's, the little one over there. And, yeah, so we've got a plan on it, we've all looked at it, we've all come up with a plan to do it. And it's just coordinating the manpower and the resources to do it.
So here we are, Halloween. What sort of window of opportunity do we realistically have to lay down hot top, like 2 weeks?
Small.
Yeah, I know it's small.
It's Mother Nature, I mean,
Could stop tomorrow.
the plant could stop
The
tomorrow.
weather forecast has it still doable,
Right,
but we don't know what the forecast is
Yeah.
for next week.
right.
That could, if it drops, they're not forecasting that right now, but that's long range too.
Yeah.
You can't bet on.
Well,
Right.
Take a look at long range, but I'm just curious, because you know, I know you got a lot of stuff going on, but I imagine the hot tops are the priorities, the blend
Well,
in.
they are, that's why we're doing what we're doing over there on Bergdorf right now, and then that's why, you know, the Grissom one, that's so far down the bottom of the hill by where the old pipe, the closed road is, that we're just gonna leave that, we're gonna fill that up with some gravel, and that's kinda, like I said, it's right at the end of the road closed barriers, we're not gonna really
Oh,
worry about,
okay.
because they might have to dig that again at some other point, because they couldn't find the line or whatever, and all that, so we're not really concerned about that, but it's the Blendon and the Lugano right now that are
okay.
kind of, like you say, what a top priority to see what we can do.
The 10-day forecast has most days in the high 40s, low 50s, but some of the nights get down below freezing.
Right.
So whether they get 6 hours of above freezing, takes 2 to defrost the road, depending
Yeah,
upon,
it'd be nice if the sun was out too.
well,
Right.
it depends on where the trees are shading too.
Right.
Hemlocks are.
Most of
Yeah.
the nights are not below freezing according to 10-day forecast, and only looks like 1 or 2 days of rain over the next 10 days.
So those are definitely, you know, the priorities, and again, laying down some of the gravel that we need to get laid down as well, on some of those spots.
And refresh my memory, weren't you gonna do some grinding up at Blendon? Is that part of the whole process of getting the?
Well, the more we looked into that, the grinding, I don't think is it's gonna be more of a cutout and lay in new material. We have our theories on why it's humped up like it is, and the grinding isn't gonna give us the results that we
Really?
would want.
Okay,
I
so
see.
the plan now is
To cut it
to
out.
cut it out and lay down hot top.
Yeah,
Wow.
dig it out, get it compacted and lay the gravel,
Lay it flat.
the hot top in there properly.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's what we're doing. So, getting ready for winter as well. We got the spreaders all up and going. I know there was a few invoices from Napa for some
Yeah.
hydraulic fittings and things like that, it's unbelievable what they go for, but it is what it is. But yeah, so those long hoses we have in the shop work awesome now. We could just back a truck up to those spreaders, hook them hoses to the spreaders while they lay in place in the rack, and they run and work. We got them all running and going and ready to go, so that, greased up and all that. So we know we'll just be able to back right into them, get them adjusted and go for now, So that's a good sign. We're gonna start pulling the plows out too as we can and getting them operational. There is one, we did look at them, there is one, I might need one wing rubber on the little plow. Sometimes you get away with just one truck set up with the rubbers this time of year, just like the spring. We put the rubber edges on them. One truck, the rubber edges are in great shape. The other truck, the front plow rubber is in good shape, but the wing is a little banged up. Might get a storm or two out of it before she definitely is toast. But we could play that by ear. I know McLean's got those in stock, so it's not something that, if I gotta go get one, I can get one, just it's what it costs. Which those aren't cheap, but, we know how valuable they are. And as far as, I gotta take a look, I think as far as the carbides and the cutting edges, I think we're okay to get started. And the chain, we did get a chain for one of the small spreaders last year. If I remember, I think that was around an $800 purchase, I'm not positive, but the other spreader may need one come middle of the season. The one that's in there is gonna work for a while, but that may need to be another purchase on the spreader.
That's into next year though, yeah?
Right,
Okay.
moving along, that'd probably be after the first, and that's the spreader that's on the flatbed, and that's an easy one to change. We could do that right on the truck, it's not like something we have to take out of the truck to do it like we did the other one.
Oh.
So yeah, just that type of stuff, just keep plugging along.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yeah, on your, and this is gonna probably get into your commissioner's report, but I wanna ask you, one of your to-dos this week is, mark out culverts and spots on Hotwell to be replaced and ditched. So I guess my question, Mark, is I saw the R.L. Heath quote, but it wasn't, there was no detail behind it. It was just
No.
one flat figure.
like-
Did that include the culverts in addition to the ditching?
No, we'll talk about that.
Okay,
Yep.
Okay.
thank you.
That's why I met Jeff this morning.
Yeah, and that's something
Okay.
that we did yesterday, so I mean,
I see.
it's on there, but it's something that I did, but yeah, so we took a look at that.
Okay, so it's under control, just,
Yeah,
we need to be brought up
right,
to speed.
brought
Okay.
up to snuff there.
Yep.
Now, if we do the ditching, will we have time to grade and gravel? Or, because I know we're getting pretty short.
Right.
On time for that.
Well, that's the thing, we'd like to, after the ditching is done, we'd like to lay some gravel out, and it's not gonna be the whole road, it's just gonna be the troubled spots
Okay.
where the ditching
Okay.
needs to be done, and the gravel needs to be laid, and the rest of it's in decent enough shape to get through.
To get through winter?
So it
Okay.
wouldn't be something that's gonna take us too long a time, but
Yeah.
it's, it is time consuming, and you're right, Mother Nature's doing what she does, so.
It's not gonna be an Appinville Way size
Correct.
project.
Right, it's
Right.
not
No.
gonna be from end to end.
Yeah, yeah.
Not in one phase.
Right.
By next year, it will be.
Yes.
Right,
So
correct.
No,
We'll
in-
yes.
In prep for winter.
Yes,
Right.
Some of it will get done this year, some of it, the rest of it will get done next year.
right.
They'll all look as close as we can get them to what they did in Appledale Way, all the roads.
Right. And I mean, even Gretchen, we did the ditching on Gretchen this year. I mean, we didn't lay the gravel down, but I mean, we didn't feel we had to because that came out, pretty firm without laying any gravel on it.
If they can start to put gravel down on Bergdorf before Burnham gets out of there completely.
Yeah,
But I don't think they have time, you're not gonna have time to do that.
well, we're hoping we're gonna get some gravel on there. Like I said, that's why we're getting that Aspen entrance and the Bergdorf entrance done today. in preparation, because again, if he gets that test back or whatever they're waiting on, they're gonna button that up and be done, and then we could kind of finish that, because as that sits, that's gonna be a pretty rough go. We're gonna have to grade that
Yeah.
and then
He
gravel.
hasn't done his final on that himself, I don't think, have they?
I'm not
The
sure,
contract has them leaving it smooth, but not with a finished grade.
right,
Because they're not gonna grade it, but they're gonna use their machines, and
right,
they're still going back and forth over it.
right,
So we'll see how they leave it.
yeah.
So the way it is now, it's still a construction site.
Yeah.
Right, but that's, yeah, it's just something that we know we're probably gonna have to
Yeah.
address.
Yeah, it's they have the, number 5 Bergdorf end of it still open to the pipe because the company is finishing the sanitize and pressure test.
Mhm.
And then we get certificates saying, the company says this passed the pressure test for 24 hours and it's been tested that the pipe is clean of bacteria from construction.
Good.
And then they're done.
Okay.
And that's what I've got.
I don't have anything more.
Any other questions? Thanks, Jeff.
Wonderful,
Thank
have
you,
a
Jeff.
great afternoon.
You too. So now it's 9:31 and we move to commissioners' reports. And we can get right into that Hutwell conversation.
Okay.
Okay.
So he had one quote that I'm not sure I emailed over the weekend to the office and to you guys. His first quote was for West Bergamo, this is Heath to
Right.
do West Bergamo and
Hutwell?
Hutwell.
Oh, all it says here is ditching Hutwell.
That's the second one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And there's
So
two
no,
numbers, but they're
didn't-
both identical numbers, so I don't know if it's two different, that just says Hutwell Drives. Okay, that's the second one. There's another one.
I'm not sure
I
I
don't
sent
have
that
another
forward
one.
because
Yeah.
I think I told him that we're not gonna do West Bergamo.
Bergamo.
So that's
Gotcha.
why he sent the second one and that's what I forwarded to you because the first one wasn't gonna be discussed at all.
Yep.
Okay.
But I'll forward it to you so you have it. So what they did was they marked off Hutwell where Heath's quote is saying all of Hutwell.
Right,
It doesn't delineate because that's what contractors want to do is contractors don't really want contracts.
Yeah, of course not.
Details. All of them, if they can.
All right.
And so, that's why we're gonna do a bid package for the uranium treatments. We'll do the two bid packages we have, the engineer working on. What we're gonna do with this, if you like this discussion, is have Heath not do every part of Hutwell. So the DPW is marked off where they want Heath's machine to do it. There's places that they want to use the grader to do the V ditching with the grader.
mhm,
And Heath's machine, because it has a wrist on it, can use the bucket and it can actually change the bucket so it's doing V ditching. But it also picks it up and puts it into the truck, which is
Same time,
which is what the grader can't do.
right,
So the highway department knows where it is, that they know they don't want the grader doing it by the wetness, the terrain, and so forth. So they've painted off the sections, which Heath doesn't know about yet, because they just did it last night.
oh,
And I toured it with Jeff this morning. And there's a culvert that they would like pulled out of the ground and changed. And so, the long and short of it is, it's all this timing issue. And this is the nature of grants and the way this all works in this season, is we're up against it now. Is that we have a contractor that we know that it can be available in 2 weeks,
mhm,
maybe a week and a half now, because it's been so there's a window that we can have him do work before we have to shut everything down for snow plowing for the winter. We have the FEMA money that we could use,
Mhm.
have him do the work, pay the invoice, submit that to FEMA, and get another 25% out of the budget, 75% reimbursement that we
Right.
can use next spring. You guys know that
Yes.
pretty well. The thing we don't have is an agreement or the contractor knowing what it is the DPW has laid out. So, and we have today's meeting to do a vote, otherwise it's next week's meeting, and we're inching closer to it. So
Right.
it's a
Yeah.
preference of how you wanna do this. You could say a not to exceed budget and have me work it out with Heath. Or have me work it out with Heath and come back next week and we do a vote on it.
So really, I think if I understand, you want to go back to Heath and say, ditching will take place in our marked zones, and also we want a culvert or a couple of culverts, or there's only one culvert?
One with a separate quote outside of the ditching.
Gotcha.
Right.
So separate quote for just the
Because
culvert?
culvert is not a FEMA reimbursable
Right.
item.
Right,
So we
okay,
want that broken out. The ditching is all FEMA reimbursable.
okay. So this quote is meaningless because he was
No.
looking at all of Hutwell?
Right.
100% of Hutwell. This was what, this
It
18,000?
doesn't say.
Well, it says Hutwell Drive, to me that means all of Hutwell.
Right. And there's a site, because it's a hill, it's, any road that's on a hill, as you know, because you've been doing driveways, you know if it's on the uphill side, there's no need for drainage on the downhill side.
Right.
We're not concerned about driveways, and we're not gonna ditch something that slopes downhill. Except when this gets to the intersection near Platts, they wanna go around Platts. So they want more than Hotwell. His quote is so simple, it says all of Hotwell.
Right.
And if pressed, he's gonna tell you it's not all of Hotwell.
Right.
This is just the
Okay.
way he's quoting it.
All right.
And we need another, if we were gonna do that, we would need another go around and
Yes,
detail
to
on this
refine
anyway.
it, yes, to make it more
So you got the pictures, we
specific.
got this
Yes.
2-week window before he fills it with another job if he.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right now, he's waiting to hear whether we're gonna take his time,
Okay,
request that time, and what is the deal. So, you could say not to exceed his number here and break that down is that he does the culvert and he does what the DPW laid out. I almost wanna lay it out that we have more work than he can do and say, here's the budget, do as much of this of ditching as you can within this budget, within this time frame. Cause we know he did the job on Bergdorf,
Mhm.
and we know that was $9,600 total. Part of that was for the water project, he did test holes, and part of it, he broke it out, was ditching, which was, we charged the FEMA already.
Mhm.
We've already been reimbursed for that.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think the way to do this is to establish a budget and say, here's the map of what the DPW says we want you to do, which is big pieces of Hotwell, starting at the parking lot end of Hotwell, heading down towards where curves are on it to Burn. And then a piece of Hotwell that goes into Platts and curves back around towards Barden. And they want the other side that goes down Platts on the other side of the road, curves around the corner and goes down Barden to where Bernie built the house and the driveway.
okay.
Okay, so that's Burn.
So were you going to like, give him a little map and say, how much of this can you do on, if let's say that's the budget? Just, is that the plan, or?
Yeah, it would be that we hear from him how much it costs to put the culvert, take the old culvert out, put a new culvert in.
Separately, yeah.
That's a separate estimate,
Right,
Uh-huh.
right?
and that gets charged to the highway operations budget.
Yep.
Not to FEMA.
Right.
And then we have the map and say, here's what we would like done, here's the order we want you to do it in, and here's the budget. Stop when the budget's over. And DP, we'll have to go back after it next year. That's just that's what a grant does to you. Unless you want to have him do as much as he can and eat into the cash that we already got back from FEMA, which we resubmit. It's what's the importance of the FEMA burn projects, FEMA Platts burn projects, versus having the cash to plan for next year and start into the springtime.
I kind of like saying, this is what we want done, this is our budget. Can you do all of that on this budget, or if not, how much of that can you do on this budgeted amount?
Yeah, and just have him start, and when the budget's done, he packs the equipment up and says, that's it.
Right.
It's not like he leaves it, anything that causes a problem for us.
Right,
Yeah,
Do it that way?
I think that's the way to go do it.
yeah.
And, because who knows, maybe he'll be able to do all of it on that budget.
So the cash that we got reimbursed for total something in the area of 90,000? Not counting the
42.
Right.
42.2, that's the,
For the design,
for the design of
culvert
the
design.
arch culvert. So, do you wanna say the budget is 15 for ditching in this project and a quote on the culvert? Or set the budget now?
Okay, is your thinking behind that because the additional to make up this amount would be for the culvert? 3,000, 3,500, something like that? Or you just not, that, you're just ignoring that, you're just coming up with a,
I'm not putting a number on the culvert. I wanna
Okay.
hear what his number is for the culvert.
Right.
okay.
So, I'm just saying that I'm gonna ask him for a number for the culvert, and, are you saying that you like the idea that, I go forward with the idea that we're gonna spend no more than 15,000 on ditching as much of Hotwell, Platts, and Burn?
The concept I like, I'm just trying to
Pick the number?
educate me, yeah, where the number came from.
You wanna go higher?
I'm not saying that, I'm saying, how
saying
did you arrive
higher.
at that number?
It's kind of based on having 80, without having the exact number of what we have in cash reimbursed already. Eating into that and leaving enough for planning next spring.
Mhm.
The hope is that whatever we spend with Heath now
We get
gets
reimbursed.
reimbursed, we get 75% of that
Yes.
back
Mhm.
before next spring.
Right,
But I'm not counting on, part of the game is we can't count on FEMA or the United States government existing by next spring, right?
Yes.
Odds are good. 15 or 20?
I'm kind of inclined going with higher to get more work done because we have this window of opportunity he's committing to us.
Well, he picks one, what do you think?
I already picked one.
What do you got?
20.
20?
so it's either 15 or 20?
That's where we're at now,
Yeah.
yes. lay your bets down.
You can- Well, his actual number was 18, right?
To do something that sounds like it was all of Hotwell,
That sounds like it
Correct.
could have been all of Hotwell.
but I doubt it.
Right. And if he used how much he could, you know, and I think he'll be flexible to the point of do as much as he can this fall, and the rest is gonna have to wait until the spring. So if he can get closer to the 15 or the 18,
Well,
then
his actual quote.
then yeah, his actual quote, then we would want him to get it, we want him to do as much as he can so that we can get it in and get it reimbursed,
Right.
hopefully.
But ideally, we'd like him to get all of it done, what's on the map that he's going to be given, now, within whatever budget we give him. So, but the problem is if
You
you
think
say
a
we have
15's
we have a
good?
max of 20,000, he says, yeah, I'll do it for 20,000, as opposed to maybe really.
So if I sense that you're leaning towards 15, and he's leaning towards 20,
Mm.
and
The 18 is right in the
18,
middle.
that's what I'm going for here.
Okay,
That's,
so this is
that
a-
works for me.
That works for me too. If you go back with this figure, okay, Bernie, you gave us this figure.
Yes.
This is what we
Let's do
need
it.
done. Can you still do it for that amount? We would like you to do it for this amount. Don't say
Yeah.
can you. We,
So
will-
without a
we
vote,
need you to do it.
I'm gonna leave this conversation and start
Okay.
talking to him
All right.
with
Okay.
the 18 number in
Yes.
mind for the budget, and, because I need to lay it out, put it in a document where it's all laid out.
So that you can create that document are gonna make a motion that we allow up to 18,000 for
Ditching.
ditching on
Hotwell, Platts, and Burn.
Platts and Burn.
See, I don't know how he
Sections
came,
of Hotwell,
I don't know how he
Platts, and
came up with the, 18,000's okay, but then he also has $24.89, so include that. I don't know how he came up with that. Include it in there.
Well, that's a quote for Hotwell.
Yeah,
That's not what he's gonna be doing now.
right, it's,
We're prioritizing, I'll actually prioritize whether he turns down Platts or continues down Hotwell, eating into the budget.
Okay,
Right.
So it's a little, the details get worked in here, which
Right.
makes it harder for him, because now it's more difficult. It's easy to quote like this, that's why he did it that way. He wanted to give me a ballpark, this is what we do.
okay.
It goes back and forth, but the time crunch is
Right.
yeah, what you can say.
hard. Okay, so.
89 cents, I mean,
So Nancy, did you
You had-
actually make a motion?
You
I did.
I'll second it,
aye,
Aye.
Okay,
3-0 on that.
Yeah.
Not to exceed 18.
Yep.
I'll be back next week.
yeah,
Okay, so, I want to introduce Evan Wass as a new videographer for Madison TV. It was Evan's wife, Lauren, who videotaped actually video recorded our Saturday morning meeting.
right.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
And she was introduced, but I didn't catch her name because her name has to go in the minutes that I'm working on for the Saturday
Saturday.
meeting. And Evan will be the videographer of record in today's meeting.
can you
W-
spell your name for me?
WOSSEVAN.
Thank you.
The website guy, we're gonna try to do him Thursday? No,
You're out Thursday, but
Wednesday. He can't do Wednesday. He couldn't do today. Was Wednesday one of his days?
3 or 4 on Wednesday, but it can't do Wednesday.
yeah, but you were gonna go ahead anyway and do the meeting with
Lawyer.
Laura.
But he can't, he wants to do it after 2:30,
Correct,
and we don't know when Laura's gonna end.
correct.
It's not urgent that we should do him in a week where we can all
Yeah.
participate in that.
Yeah, like
So
maybe,
we
see if we can get a
can't
commitment
do
for
the
next
webcast this
Tuesday, a
week.
week from today, that's plenty of lead time.
Okay. Last week, we missed talking about sending a follow-up letter to the owner of the lot on Riggy Road about the danger of leaving the road in that condition. So,
Right,
to focus
so-
this discussion, I'd like to make a motion that we draft a letter to be sent to him,
Yeah.
signed out of session. It'll be an email that we agree on out of session.
Okay,
After we see what the state of Riggy is now, because it's more than 2 weeks since the last time we saw it. I don't wanna write a letter, and he's already worked on it, if you follow what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
Yes.
we need to go inspect it again.
So,
Okay.
okay,
we agree upon an email, we'll do that. I'll go and look at Riggy to see what the state of it is.
Yeah, I wanna take a look at it too.
Wednesday afternoon, after we finish with Laura, we'll draft an email and send it out, but you get the gist of what we, if
Yes.
it's left in a dangerous situation, we're gonna tell him he left it in a dangerous situation, and we're notifying his liable if somebody goes
All right,
down that road
yeah.
thinking that
sounds fair.
they can go
Right.
down it at 20. They're gonna have a big surprise
Yep.
because of what he did, he needs to fix that. Not at his leisure.
Right.
As soon as
Okay,
possible.
yeah, right, yeah,
With the leverage of him being liable to whoever gets hurt down there for what he did.
okay.
So that was a motion, I
Yeah.
think it got seconded, voting, yes, how do you
Aye.
vote?
Aye,
3-0
All
on
right,
that.
great.
Luckily FEMA didn't respond to a meeting. I reread all the emails. I think the way to do this is not try to get a video conference with FEMA and New Hampshire Emergency Management, is to write an email to them saying, we're seeing that you are preparing the FEMA system to reimburse the village for up to $38,000 for management costs. But all of our communications have been that we don't intend on submitting this.
Because we're
And
not tracking.
so
Yeah.
we shouldn't believe that I'm gonna say to them, it's true that we shouldn't believe that you're just sending us a check for $38,000 at the end of this.
Right,
You just got a place marker. within their system, they had to place mark and say, these people are gonna apply for category Z reimbursement, and it can be up to $38,000 by their internal rules. They're not saying they're gonna give us $38,000.
Right.
And we're in no better position to be putting in for the hours that I did, because I have no records of it, and it'll be at $4 an hour by the way that
Right.
I'm paid.
And do they understand that we do not really get a salary, we get a stipend?
Yes.
So that there's no way of really
Many
tracking that.
times.
In one point, they mentioned, well, we could say that we'll pay you $10 an hour, and I don't know how they do that under all the regulations that they've shown me that I have to sign off on and doing. Swear they want to get me in jail, that's what they want.
No.
Just don't know what country I'll be in.
Let's hope it's not El Salvador.
So that's the FEMA part.
Mhm.
The guy that, I want to talk about telephone system guy, Bartlett Telephone Company, I think is the name of his, not
Yeah.
Bartlett, Bretton Woods.
Right, well,
Yes.
I ended up doing us a big favor outside of telephone systems by having this relationship with the skater company.
I
Did you-
thought, I explained that to you when I introduced the concept of using this gentleman.
There's a big difference between the fact that he's worked with SCADA systems interfacing their telephone connection into his systems, and him personally knowing
Right.
the owner of the SCADA company. That's the difference. That's not what you were. That's not what you were.
Well, I
relaying to me.
didn't know he was
I know,
had a
and I didn't know
relationship
until
with
I
them.
started to talk to him about the telephones and mentioned to him that we're looking for recommendations on new SCADA companies. That
Yeah,
he reacted by
right.
saying that he wanted to do everything he could to get the SCADA company we have to respond to us before they lost our business.
Right, because it
Nothing
makes
we
it
were
easier
saying
for everybody.
Was moving that football, and he did it in a heartbeat somehow.
Huh.
So
Well,
Yeah, I was
it seemed
trying to
help,
follow this,
that's
because I
for
read
sure.
all the email
he
traffic.
did everything. He got,
Who is this guy, Art Nicholson?
so
He was recommended by our IT person.
Okay, so from,
So, based on the fact that he seems to have a great working relationship with our IT person, and now the SCADA company is fixing the problem that we couldn't get him to fix for
months.
many months.
Mm.
And I don't know how that was left. We can get to that, we can ask you that during the administrators, what you know about it.
I don't know.
Okay. That'll make it quick.
Yep.
I think we should talk to Art more about the telephone system.
Yeah.
Is where I'm getting.
I think so, because there's definite synergy there. We got
Yes.
two important things, our telephone system and our SCADA. They're separate, but yet they have a interface.
Two important relationships.
Yes.
And we have not heard back from Spectrum at all.
Right.
So,
'Cause-
I didn't have time this week to get into following up with him. But I think we
Right.
should send him a message that would like to, I told him yesterday on the phone, he followed up with me, which Spectrum didn't do, on just the telephone stuff.
Right.
And I said that we intend on following through with him, and I'm just coming back to the board and saying, do you want to follow through and focus on him and learn everything that he wants to tell us about?
I think we do, because the email traffic I read, who is this guy? This sounds impressive.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, we should try to meet with him in some fashion, either face-to-face or video.
Yeah.
Yeah,
um, Next week if we can.
Tuesday afternoons, I mean,
All right,
it's a great time, because
make a
we're
motion that we try to have
fresh off the meeting.
a video conference with him Tuesday
Okay.
afternoon.
You want me to reach out?
Yep.
Okay. So, did you want to pick a specific time? 1, 2, 1:30?
No earlier than 1.
What?
One.
Okay.
But
All right.
we
Fine.
need to give a little bit of break between, assuming that we break roughly around 11.
No problem.
And 11:30.
Yeah.
We get a little bit of a break.
Okay.
And
Great.
we gotta go recharge my batteries.
I sent the email that had the quote on NRG, the electrical power broker that has discounted prices today over what Eversource
Mhm.
had.
Yes.
You had an email that you had an example, you had copies of invoices from Eversource
Correct.
for general operations and then from water. I forwarded that to Alistair and Larry and said, we'd like your opinion on this. Just saying that we've gotten caught in a contract that we didn't notice expiring and went on and the rates were
Yeah, last year.
favorable when
Yeah.
that happened. Is it worth going with this broker or staying with, and I don't know whether that's a legitimate question to ask them, but
But we can certainly get their opinions.
they can tell us if they don't have one, and I would understand that they did.
Right.
But I sent that,
That's
Yeah.
that neighborhood energy.
yeah,
Mhm.
and that's all I have.
Okay, I just, every day I try and keep up on the email traffic, see what's going on, but one thing I was a little confused on, just want some clarification, was did I understand that we did all the water shutoffs, but then all of a sudden, one of the customers came back and had to have it turned back on right away, because there was something weird. I didn't quite
Yeah,
follow that.
and we really probably should talk about it in non-public if
Okay.
we really want details.
Well, we're doing a
So,
non-public. Okay.
Essentially, that gentleman was not turned back on.
Right,
So,
okay.
This the guy that left the cash in the mailbox?
yes.
Okay, that's enough. Just
Okay.
so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, this is definitely a non-public, okay.
You didn't hear
That's
these
where
I didn't hear these details.
I didn't hear those details, but all I knew was something's really funny here, and I need clarification.
Yeah, it
on
was
Yeah.
a little
Stop.
twackadoodle.
Okay, fine. That's all I have, Nancy.
Okay.
Okay, so, updated and sent around the motion log. Notice there's some good warrant items that are listed on the motion log. So it is that time of year, so I'll start working on a, warrant list.
Yeah.
You
Like you
know,
did last year.
for,
Right.
like we did last year,
Yes.
just to say, okay, these are the ones we already have listed as potentials, and what do we actually want to do with them?
Yeah, or any other ones. Yeah.
Right.
Excellent.
And
Do you-
then,
Do you, before you move off that, do you think we should have a special meeting about the budget like we did last year?
I would love to.
And we usually did that in November, I think.
Uh-huh.
before-
Yeah.
Yeah,
before
we did
had
that last
real
year.
bad
Yeah,
weather.
try to do it before the Thanksgiving week, and,
It's not the budget meeting, though.
no, the budget
Gotcha.
meeting is gonna be in February.
Correct.
We do one with them so that we hear from them before we start to lay out the budget
Yeah,
that we present in
and we
February.
did do it
Right.
last year.
Yep,
Right,
so
Right.
you wanna do it?
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense.
yeah, so I think we should try to do it.
So that'll also pan out additional warrant items potentially,
Uh-huh.
right?
Might also tell people or have people say, I absolutely don't think we should have to do that, or
Yeah,
that we don't
right.
wanna fund that, so.
Okay.
We start getting, it's always good to have as much input from the voters as we can and the residents as we can to put the warrant together.
So in the middle of your commissioner's report, this could segue into 5 minutes on Saturday's meeting. Because one of the, I think we should talk about it while it's fresh.
Okay.
Uh-huh,
Because one of the things that was real interesting, I thought, was that there was no mention by the attendees of taxes at all. There was no mention,
The reassessment and all that stuff.
no mention of the, actually, there was a little bit about the waterfront weighted
Assessment.
assessment, and that was it. But there was no discussion about village tax rates,
right,
operating budgets, and how we're doing it at all.
That's because nobody has seen a bill yet, which they will soon, for December's payment.
Yeah, but isn't it the same? No?
They know what it is.
Yeah.
And there's no discussion of the water system at all. There's no discussion of actual road maintenance at
Right.
all. It's like the big dollar numbers they didn't put weight on that as to what they want to say about what they wanted out of the future of Eidelweiss. It was the subjects that they listed out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know if you want to talk about that while it's still fresh too.
Yeah, let's do a quick discussion. I mean, the thing came up was the recreation, the beaches, and the STR issue, and what was the other?
Non-Eidelweiss abutting properties using Eidelweiss
Right.
access.
But
And
that had to do with Evan Farm Road, right? That,
we took a while to
Or
determine
the
what that was
tower,
about.
and the tower.
well, yeah, the tower too,
Yeah.
yeah. But that's an unknown at this point, and we already know that, that driveway access is permitted.
Yes.
STRs, tower, non-abutting Eidelweiss properties, abutting non-Eidelweiss properties, recreation, and the pond and parking. And there was a brief discussion about no parking in the roads,
Mhm.
and I think we may even brought up speed limits and people walking.
Yeah,
Right.
nobody had a problem with that.
But it was interesting that it was not big ticket items that are in the operating budget or warrant articles of the previous year. There was a little discussion of the dam too, I think, in that. So what
yeah.
jumped out at you at the, how do you proceed from here and writing
Future warrant articles?
the Eidelweiss
Master
Oh,
plan.
the master plan.
master plan section?
Well, I think I
Would you
got,
write it, would you write it today? Do you know what you would write for the whole thing?
for the whole thing, no, but I think part of it, I think people were in favor that the parking spaces at Eidelweiss beaches should be only for Eidelweiss property owners and their
Right.
guests.
Yeah.
That's it. And therefore, a system, they'll be perfectly good with a system in place, the tag system. What really struck out was when one of the attendees said, "Oh yeah, and if they lose that tag, it's going to cost $200 to replace." And I was like, first like $200, wow. But then I thought about it, and actually, as Kerry probably brought that up to me, he said, "Yeah, because that way they're not going to give it to some friend to use, knowing that if they don't get it back, they lose it. They got to fork out $200." So, okay, that's debatable whether that fee is justifiable or not. But I think that was the reason, the thought behind that. It's something for discussion in the future, if that's a good thing, if we go forward with this tag system, which I think, my sense is, the attendees are there, we're all in favor of that.
So there's the master plan, and then there's what could be a potential warrant article on next year's warrant.
Right,
So things like that
will be a warrant.
could be a
Correct.
warrant article, and there it is. It doesn't have to be part of the master plan, because
Yes.
it's not future planning for the next 10 years.
Okay.
It either happens next next March,
Right.
or it doesn't.
So is it a warrant article, because there will be a bit of a cost involved in that to us, not a whole lot, but there is some cost involved
Yeah,
for creating a tag system.
less, I think, I'm gonna remember, it was $1.19 if we bought 500 of them.
Okay. So
And they're individually numbered.
Right, okay.
So yes, it would be, that's part of the warrant article. The footwork first too is that we haven't discussed this at all with the current chief. It was the previous chief that liked the whole idea, but now we need to run it by the
New chief, yeah.
is. The other things like that is the discussion of the STRs. The current version of the master plan for Eidelweiss said that we wanted to continue to maintain the peaceful environment. And I listened to the SDR discussions, and the discussion was into a debate as to whether they should be allowed to have this business. And I thought, isn't the real issue is whether the STR disturbs the neighborhood that the STR is in?
That's more my thought, yes.
If it's a
because-
waterfront neighborhood, they don't like the STR's renters coming into private property because they see the beaches right there across the street. And they start using the docks and using the beaches.
Private docks
So
instead of
that's-
private beaches, yeah.
That becomes an enforcement issue.
Yes,
In the way that one of the bigger problems in Eidelweiss was resolved was the previous chief in attorneys for the abutters writing to the owner. This problem was solved by the owner selling it to somebody who wasn't gonna use it as an SDR. So, there again, I'm looking at whether that's an issue for the warrant or an issue that goes into 10-year planning.
I think 10-year planning, because I think you touched upon the whole direction that New Hampshire is going. And I think the whole argument is you cannot use a residence for a business as a losing argument. I think the argument that it's your home, you can do what you want with it. If you want to rent it to somebody for a week, you're allowed to do that. I think that's going to prevail in the long term. So therefore, the real issue gets back to what you just said, disturbances to people who do live here. They don't want to hear parties with loud music at midnight. They don't want these people coming in temporarily trespassing on their property and or leaving trash. We've seen that too as well, being a big problem.
So I think it turns into us putting into the 10-year plan is that we work with the town and we support the departments that do enforcement in zoning and police enforcement. And we, of course, also want to support first responders, the fire department and so forth. So that's what I got out of that, is that it's not specifically what they were pointing at, is debating whether it's a home business issue, a legitimate
Right.
business. It's what the effect is on the neighborhood, and that it looks to be enforcement in 10 years going forward, is that we make it better and better for the town, that we advocate for the town in Eidelweiss.
Yeah, and I think maybe those people who want to rent their homes, they got to be given like a best practices in the contract that they give to their renters. That spells out, you will not trespass on private property, you will not lay trash, all that stuff. Because I do know one particular renter near me, and his contract is nearly bulletproof. And if he finds any of the people violating it who he rents to, he kicks them out right away. They're gone,
And
even if they still have 2 or 3 days left on their contract.
And the previous chief actually wrote to a problem short-term renting house that he was gonna be fining them, and I think a fining structure by the town that covers all STRs in the town. My personal belief is that the $80,000 that the 12 people advocated and got passed in the warrant, if that was given to the enforcement departments within the town, 80 grand, to go out and solve the problem, that would have been a lot more than spending almost all of that 80,000 on attorneys.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
And ending up with still 4 remaining lawsuits and no money left. I don't get it. I don't want it to go that way.
Right,
Yeah.
no, I agree,
So it's kind of like, what I got out of it is not exactly what they said in detail, but at a higher level, how the village participates with the town to solve the problem.
Right, which I think is, on the long term, is the only way to go, judging by the direction politics are going in regards to private property owner rights.
Enough on that for now?
Yes,
So we're in,
Well, I don't know if Nancy's done talking
No, we're not.
about. Yeah.
yeah, you're still in your report.
thanks for that commercial
We
interruption.
didn't,
Now back to our show.
No, that was fine. I was gonna say, is there anything else from last week that, well, we already have the pond ordinance
Right.
listed as something we're gonna be discussing for, the warrant. So that'll be on the list when I set that up and start sending that around, for 2026 warrant. Wow. The other thing I have is I had talked to Dinah previously,
I'll read
when I had mentioned in the past about the possibility of Jane Gunn being named as deputy treasurer. Dinah has signed a letter requesting the board, because she nominates and then it's up to us to appoint.
Okay.
And So she signed a letter saying that she wants to nominate Jane Gunn as deputy treasurer.
So very brief, it just says, "Dear Commissioners, as treasurer, I would like to nominate Jane Gunn as VDOE deputy treasurer. Thank you for consideration of this request," and she signed it. So
So,
I'll make a motion that we appoint Jane Gunn as the deputy treasurer to Diana Reese's being the treasurer.
second,
Aye, and I take it
Aye.
Jane has agreed to do the job.
yes.
Okay, good.
3-0? 3-0
3-0
on that vote.
Okay, I don't know exactly how this works,
Uh-huh,
so we could discuss that later.
okay,
The next thing is that the clerk swears Jane in as the deputy treasurer.
Gotcha. To make it official.
yep.
And then,
Okay, and then beyond that.
before we leave completely the last Saturday's meeting, I think the one other thing that should be made clear if people didn't understand it, because I think you put it out, but obviously a lot of discussion of that new cell tower came up, but I think that this board's position is, we take no position as to whether the cell tower should be there or not there.
Right.
But we are concerned about some company coming in and trying to create a road on our property that does not exist right now. And that we will find out what our rights are.
Right.
We don't know what they are yet, but we will find out and get that out there.
Yep.
Okay, and the other thing I have listed is, was it last week or the week before? We went through the last set of changes for the driveway ordinance. I think we identified that there still needs to be a change on one of the pictures.
Yeah, I need to modify both those pictures. I'll do that this week.
Okay, because I'd like to get that moving.
Yep.
Okay.
You know, because the hope of having a warrant, having a public hearing before snow flies is getting short.
Yep.
Speaking of public hearing, we were just talking before about the pre-budget meeting to get feedback, and we were talking about November. Do we want to try and pick out a date right now that we could do that?
Well, it'll be a Saturday.
Be a
You have the
Saturday.
1st, the 8th, the 15th, and 22nd. I don't
Okay.
think you want to do it the 29th.
Right.
Pick one. Then we're going to see if the room's available.
15th.
So we'll make a motion that we see if this room is available for the 15th. If it is, then we'll ask Madison TV if they want to cover it. And
You're
then
saying November 15th?
November 15th.
Yeah.
At 10 a.m. here.
Okay.
See if the room's available, and then let Madison TV know, and then we'll announce it. So I made that as a motion,
Second,
Aye.
aye.
3-0 on that. Anything else, Madison?
Nope, that's what I had.
Okay. Number 6 on the agenda at 10:13 is the water system. The fix that was done on Lugano for the second time has failed in some fashion underground. It's not clear what happened over there, but I don't know if we know whether. Do you know if Simply Water has been notified of this?
What do you think? I'm sorry, but no.
So we want to notify them?
I'm sorry?
Yes,
Yes, we need to notify.
yeah, we
Yes,
need to notify
um,
them.
Jeff DiMartino, I believe, has had a discussion with Ian.
Oh, okay.
At least that's what Jeff told me yesterday.
I would say we follow that up with a formal call from the office or email, whatever it is, just
Email,
you know,
Email.
to,
And he's scheduled to come to our next meeting also, right?
week from today, yep.
Yeah.
So let's get
So I assume
confirmation on
we're
that.
gonna want this fixed, we can't leave it like this.
Yeah,
One of the members of the huge crowd that we had
But-
on Saturday was the owner of that house.
Mm-hmm.
We now have his email address.
Nice,
John?
Yeah, yeah, we
John
we
Napoleon.
specifically asked him for his email address
So we
because we could, so that we could
keep
be
him
in touch.
informed of what's going on out there, and then it turned into another lake.
Right.
oh my gosh, wow.
That covers everything we want to talk about with the water system today?
Oh, yeah, other than let's get confirmation that Ian's gonna be here a week from today, and I.
We did already,
Oh, okay, so
Did that.
okay, good. I wanna make sure he is here today, next week.
yep,
So number 7 is no scheduled public appearances. Number 8 is the administrator's report. Driveway application for 42 Oak Ridge.
Mhm.
That's the driveway that was getting paved?
Yes.
yeah.
Is that the one we sent the
Yeah,
letter to?
so, I mean, it's, there's no drawings, because it's kind of pretty
Downhill,
straightforward.
right.
And from what I understand and what was expressed to me in great detail was that this driveway was already paved prior to this. I can't deny or
Yeah,
confirm,
Yep.
so that was the basis of why they needed to submit an application, because it was already paved. But I urged them to complete the application because they're paving right to the end, where the driveway meets the road. And they agreed and completed what they could with the application, so, and the $75 fee.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
But the ordinance says if you can do a modification, which would include repaving, this would fall under that, right?
yeah, especially if it's coming down and meeting the road
Mhm.
area,
Yeah.
which could potentially change
Right.
the whole direction of any water flow.
Right.
Oh, so their driveway is downhill toward our
Yeah,
road,
so it,
not the other way around.
Because we actually discussed whether we were gonna need an application for this.
Right, because it's all down.
Because there was no problem with water
Correct.
entering the road from the driveway. But I think Nancy pointed out that the ordinance says you have to apply, so that's what we did.
Right.
yes,
So I'll make a motion that we approve this application.
all right, great.
Second.
All right,
Any discussion? I'll vote aye,
Aye.
3-0 on that application.
Thank you.
Any questions for
So,
Jennifer before we move to?
yeah, we can sign out of session the permit for construction
On that?
on this one? Or do we wanna wait till next week?
Why wait?
Well, that's,
The question?
yeah, that's the
I
question.
don't know why we would wait.
Right, so wanna sign out of session, we just approved the application. Make a motion to sign the, inspection, the inspection report for the paving.
Correct.
Tomorrow afternoon, Mike?
Yeah,
Yes, I'll second that motion.
Okay, great.
All in favor?
aye.
all right.
3-0. Anything else with Jennifer?
Back on DPW, is there a new vacation request?
Yeah, I was gonna move it down to the signature items.
Oh, okay,
Because
that
we
works,
forgot about it, yeah.
that works.
So I'll move on to old business where we need to confirm that we're gonna do a video conference. Do you think Laura wants to send us the invitation for the video?
I'll ask her.
Okay. In the website demo, we decided that that's not happening this week.
Right,
We'll try for next week.
Trying to reschedule for a week from today.
And the FEMA conference call on category Z is not gonna happen.
yeah, we're gonna hold
We're
on
gonna do
that.
that as an email. And there's no signature items?
Well, yeah, there is now.
Yep.
Of the vacation. So at 10:19, we're doing signature items.
Okay. So this was up on DPW, but Jeff went into his report and we just took off with that. So it's a vacation request for Jeff. And it's for November 6th. A Thursday, which he's previously, last week, you approved the Friday after.
Uh-huh.
So now it's the
Is this
Thursday and Friday.
Do both of them.
Yes.
Okay.
So
So that's
I'll
ne-
make a motion that we approve this vacation request.
Second.
Okay, just a quick question. Did he say that the days that he's gone, Tony will be in to work alongside Yuri? Do we know that?
No?
No? Okay. Because I thought we had,
I thought it was a week-long thing when he's on vacation. I didn't know it was 1 or 2 days. Plus,
You're signing, you haven't voted yet. I guess you're voting yes.
yeah, I'm voting aye, but my concern is whenever one person takes a
Yeah.
vacation, we have at least two-man coverage.
for 1 day,
For one day, I wouldn't be too concerned about, but now it's 2 days, right?
yeah, but these are separate requests that I got
Right.
at different times.
But they're 2 consecutive days now.
So we'll just ask them what their plan
Yeah,
is.
Yeah,
that's all.
we'll just see what the plan is.
So, there's no public appearances, no non-agenda items, and so I'll make a motion that we go into non-public session, which requires a roll call vote. Needs a second?
Second.
How do you vote to go into
Aye.
non-public session? How do you vote?
Aye.
Would vote, Nancy votes yes?
Yeah.
Would votes yes, and I vote yes.
And the time?
And the time is 10:21.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Evan.